Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. In this episode, we have an artwork which is we want to show you. Of course, as we do always, we have a short story and a wise saying and an Islamic scientist. Let us start with the artwork. The artwork is called Al-Wow, which is very much like a W in foreign languages. Let me show you the artwork first. It is here. That is the artwork. As you can see, it has been shown in a few exhibitions. One of them is in this exhibition, or this is the catalog of the exhibition, which is called Ali Omar Ermes in Context, and it is in 2003 in London. Also, it has been shown in other places. Here we are. That is the artwork. So now the artwork has a piece of poem, a beautiful piece of poem, which comes to from the Abbasid poet called Muslim Ebni El Waleed. Muslim Ibn Waleed is very famous as a poet, and in this artwork there's two lines of his poem, which talks about his abilities of steadfasting, taking care of his ideas, being able to resist shall we say, temptation or threats or whatever it is. That's the idea of the artwork. But anyway, of the poem, I can always read it in Arabic, and it might give an idea to people who will understand the language. Now, the poem says, "أنا النار في أحجارها مستكينة فإن كنت ممن يقدح النار فقدحي. أنا الليث وابن الليث في حومة الوغى فإن كنت ممن ينبح الليث فانبحي." He is very much like a challenging any people who might want to challenge him. To say to him, he is saying to them, he has the inside power to resist, to defend, and to stand fast whatever he comes to when it comes to his defense about his ideas or his opinion or whatever it is, and he's challenging them to be able to, shall we say, show what they be able to do. So he's suggesting if they are really able to do any of that. All that just tells us that he was very confident, and he knew what he want to say, and he knew what he wants to do. So that's the artwork. Now, this artwork has been shown, as I told you, in more than one exhibition, and now resides in London with some of the collectors of my artwork. Now we move to this short story. This is really one of those stories which tells so much about the world of today. This short story, I got it from social media, and of course we are not going to start talking about what channel or what group of people who doing these nice stories, because we are not in the business of advertising. It is just that we, of course, know we thank all the people who are really showing us a lot of nice stories, no doubt about it, but not in an advertisement way. So that is that. The source story says that there was these two thieves who went into a palace, a very wealthy man's palace, and they were able to open the safe and took out the money. But instead of running away, they came in the middle of the palace space and sat down in a big sofas and a table or something like this, and they started to play cards. And they put the television and or the radio very loud voice, and went on all time till the it could be something like in the middle of the night, where the owner of the palace just came about, and he found them with the money playing cards, listening to music. So he called the police, and the police found these people enjoying themselves, listening to music, taking a lot of money with them, sitting. The money is not very far from them; they are on the table, and the owner, palace owner, with his gun in his hand, keeping them around. I mean, he was thinking that he was keeping them around. But of course, as we understand from the story, that these two thieves, they were waiting for him. So they willingly were sitting there, not because they are frightened to run away from him, but willingly they want to do that. Anyway, when the police came, the thieves said to the police, "Look, we came on an invitation of this man to play cards, and he lost. This is why we are taking the money. This is the money he lost. Therefore, he now accuses us that we are, burgling his money or anything like that. Nothing of the sort. Just he lost the money. That's why." Anyway, so the police felt that this might be true. I mean, usually no thieves will burgle a place like this and take money, and then they sit playing cards and waiting for the police to come and the rest of it. So therefore, this story must be true. So the police wanted to go away, but the thieves said to him, "Please don't go away, because if you go away and he has the gun, he will kill us." So what happened? So police take them out safely with their money in front of the owner of the house, where he was seeing his money being taken away with the protection of the police. No doubt, all of us will see this is a very clever way of thieving, a clever way of burglaring, no doubt about it. By us here talking about this kind of thing, the wisdom of this tells us that what's the difference between these two thieves and the World Bank? Sometimes even the United Nations. There are a lot of burglars around, a lot of people who are misusing their own country's money, very much like thieving them, and being protected by the officialities of the World Bank or the United Nations, or similar bodies like this. So that is the idea behind the story. Hope that this story tells us something and make us be a bit careful about things, about understanding what is the simplicity or complexity of things. Now, these are really very nice wise sayings and very small wise saying, but tells us so much. In one way, it's a beginning of how one conduct himself through when they are doing things, or when they are talking to people, or where they are arguing about issues and things like this. And some of us will see, because of the way they argue, or the way they do, or the way they start thoughts and ideas, some of us might not feel that they were right, shall we say, successful. So what is the wise saying says here? Says the best way to win an argument is to begin by being right. The best way to win an argument is to begin by being right. Being right should win you all the arguments. I know that there are a lot of people with the right, being right in their argument, but they are lost because of injustice. That is only because of injustice. If they, of course, have been more fortunate and met people who are not just when they are dealing with them, of course, even if they were right, they are not going to win an argument. But in the normal circumstances and the normal nature of humans, if you begin being right, if you were right, then you should win the argument. Next is the Islamic Scientist. In Islam, there is so many scientists and philosophers, and thousands of them. Of course, we know a lot of them, but some of us don't know much about a lot of them also. Either they only know a few things, or they never thought that they were scientists, or people haven't put enough care and shall I say work and study about them. Therefore, they are not known to others. So anyway, this scientist of today is Al-Ghazali. Al-Ghazali is Abu Hamid Muhammad Ibn Muhammad Al-Ghazali. Of course, Abu Hamid Muhammad Ibn Muhammad Al-Ghazali is very well known, and he's one of the biggest scientists, philosophers of Islam. While he was not in favor of philosophy, he was saying a lot of philosophy are false, misleading. And he had a very famous argument with the other big Islamic philosopher, who was Ibn Rushd, what people know him as Averroes, the person who, the big philosopher who really taught the whole European civilization what Aristotle was saying, and what Aristotle teachings and others. Now, the Al-Ghazali written a book, say very much like down with philosophers, and Ibn Rushd replied with another book, an opposition, and an opposite book, which says down with the down of philosophers. So it is very much that. Now, there are, you could see a lot of books which talks about Al-Ghazali, and this is just one of them. Here are a lot of these are Muslim philosophers, all these Muslim philosophers. But anyway, we could see also his name mentioned in so many other books. I only brought two here because, of course, there isn't much time for us to show. There are hundreds of books here, and some of them they contain a large piece of talking about Al-Ghazali and what he did and how his ideas and how he, shall we say, was maintaining his thoughts and ideas against or with what he was opposing or what he was encouraging. Now, again, that is the other book which shows also Al-Ghazali here, which is called Tarikh Falasifat al-Islam, says the history of the Muslim philosophers. Let's hope that this is, while it is a bit short, but hopefully it's enjoyable and it is useful, and hope that the viewers will like what they hear and what they see, and come back to us if they have got any ideas or any thoughts to share with us. Thank you very much indeed, and see you later.